Hi guys, I'm Michael from Optimus, and at Optimus we have developed a new stove which we would like to show to you today. The all-new Optimus Polaris Optifuel stove. The Polaris Optifuel works with almost every fuel without you having to modify anything to the stove. Thanks to its single jet technology, it works very well with LPG gas canisters, white gas, diesel, unleaded fuel, kerosene and even jet fuel. And if you switch between any of these fuels, you never have to change the jet in the stove. So let me show you how this baby works. So here we have the Polaris. You just open the pod support legs and unfold the control handle like this, and make sure the control valve is fully closed. Now if you want to use LPG gas canisters, you just screw the fuel connector onto the gas canister tightly. Once you have done so, the stove is now ready to use. Just open the control valve and light up the stove. Here's a little trick. If you have a normal lighter which produces a yellow flame, it is better to light the stove through the side openings of the burner. If you use a power lighter which produces a blue flame such as this Optimus Bernie, it is easier to light up the Polaris from the top. The more efficient way to cook with LPG gas is to keep the canister in upright position. However, if you need to, the canister can also be inverted to 4-season mode by just unfolding these little canister support legs and turning the canister upside down like this. This is a very useful feature if you want to cook with LPG gas canisters in cold conditions, if you are in a hurry and want to speed up your boil time, or if you want to burn off the last drops of gas in a nearly empty canister. So this is how the Polaris works with LPG gas. If you now want to use the stove with other liquid fuels, you don't need to modify anything to the stove. The single jet technology in the burner is accommodating all different fuels, so you don't have to exchange the jet. All you have to do is to fill your fuel bottle with your fuel of choice up to the maximum filling level. Now, just insert the pump and close it tight. After this, you should close the fuel valve. Now it is time to pressurize the bottle by pumping 25 to 40 strokes. Screw the fuel connector of the stove onto the pump like this, and then lie the bottle on its side with the on sign facing upwards. To support the bottle, you should open one of these little support legs. And now open the fuel valve fully. Don't be tempted to open both support legs and position the fuel bottle like this. This would hamper the fuel intake of the pump and the performance of the stove would be reduced significantly. For preheating the stove, you just have to open the control valve slightly and let a little bit of fuel squirt out. Close the valve again to stop the fuel flowing and light up the Polaris with any kind of lighter from the side. What you will see is a yellow flame. Once this flame is getting smaller, you can start to open up the control valve carefully again. And finally, once the stove is hot enough and the flame turns blue, you can open the valve fully and start cooking at full performance. With the magnetic multi-tool you can operate the built-in cleaning needle while you're cooking. Just move the multi-tool underneath the stove back and forth a couple of times, and with a freshly cleaned jet you can continue cooking happily. And last but not least, to extinguish the stove, simply turn over the fuel bottle so that the pump is showing the off position facing upwards. All you have to do now is wait a little bit until the fuel in the system is burned off, and then let the stove cool down before you pack it away. So this is the all-new Optimus Polaris Optifuel stove with single jet technology. The only stove which burns most common fuels used in the outdoors without having to change the jet of the stove. So we hope you like it and keep on burning.